Hello again, this is K8NDS back with you with another YouTube video. This video is being brought to you today through several requests from mostly stations stateside that I've worked on several bands, and I constantly get asked the question, how do my magnetic loops work on DX? Well, stayed up last night on the 20 meter band just for the purpose of capturing a few contacts. And it wasn't the best night in the world, the band opening, but it was decent. And that may be even a better demonstration on a band that was not in really great shape. And we got some pretty good reports, and the following are some video clips depicting just how these antennas work on DX. So have fun watching, and we'll see you on the air.
Into each other soon, and it's really a pleasure, and you have a good morning. That must be very late in the morning, very early in the morning, and good evening from Sydney, and to Quebec, Victor Kilo, to Denmark X-ray. Bye-bye, Nick. Bye-bye, Terry. Bye-bye.
VK2 Delta X-ray, this is Kilo 8 November Delta Sierra, Northern Arizona.
That's the Northern Arizona station.
Yes, this is Kilo 8 November Delta Sierra, K8 November Delta Sierra, Nick. My name is Rich, Radio India Charlie Hotel, and we're located 100 miles north of the city of Phoenix. You got a great signal in here this morning. Back to you.
QSL, you're 58 to 59, Rick, and 5859 in Sydney, and you got my name, that's fine. I got a call sign Kilo 8 November Delta Sugar in North Arizona. Very good. Well, thank you for the call, and 5859 in Sydney, K8 Nancy Delta Sugar, VK2DX.
Yeah, VK2 Delta X-ray, K8NDS. Very good, Nick. Thank you very much for answering my call. I was reading the mail on you on the previous contact with the 2 station, and you had such a nice signal. I just wanted to give you a holler and see how you were copying me. I wonder what you're running for an antenna and power there. We're running 1 kilowatt here, Nick, from a Pro 3 and a Meritron AL82 amplifier, and the antenna is a very small footprint antenna, very close to the ground. It's my own design of a 2-element helically loaded magnetic loop. And the 2-element loop is only 10 feet above the ground, QSL.
You're kidding me. Magnetic loop, fantastic. Well, a few stations calling and you go through, mate, no problem. So your antenna is honestly, I was thinking you're running like, you sound like you're running maybe a couple hundred watts into a 3-element high band and 20 meters above the ground. That's how you sound, Rick. Yeah, but I say you have more power, but magnetic loop, man, that's fantastic. Well done. Fantastic signal, Rick. 400 watts here, 400 watts into 20 Rick, doing?
Yeah, very good. Well, you're sounding great. You peaked up as high as an S8 on the last transmission, down a little bit right now. I don't know if conditions are changing a little bit or not, but you're very Q5. Nick, these magnetic loops of mine have a very low noise floor. If you were an S1 here, I'd be able to copy you 100%. The noise floor on these antennas are so low. You have a great armchair copy signal in here, but I am running 1 kilowatt into the 2-element loop. The 2-element loop consists of two 4.5-foot diameter loops. They're helically loaded. It's my own design that you can check out on my QRZ site, Nick. And they're in the same plane, looking like a figure 8. The center of the loops are mounted at 10 feet above the ground, and they're rotatable and rotated down in short path to Australia. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, fantastic. Well, I'm on the web page right now, on the QRZ.com page right now, and looks like you're really into loops, and but from my, you're doing something well. I'm not sure, I'm not an antenna expert, but you're certainly doing something right. And, well, I mean, just the ability to run that much power into a loop, it's an achievement in itself. So well done, Rick. Well done, guys.
Yeah, very good. Well, I've been having fun with this, Nick. This particular loop, if you see the two of them, is the newest one. And I haven't used it on 20 meters much until lately. And I've been getting on here at this time in the morning a few days now and just working one Victor Kilo after another and getting S8 to S9 and as much as 5/9 reports with this antenna that's only 10 feet above the ground. So I think it does work quite well. Back to you.
It's still working quite well. It's amazing signal. There were at least 3 stations calling, and there was a New Zealander to whom I apologize for not picking his call. He was much louder, but I had really no problem, picking up call signs to that mini pilot. So well done. Congratulations, Mike. It's really just amazing signal from 2-element loop, solo loop practically on the ground. Right?
Yeah, VK2 Delta X-ray Kate NDS. Okay, Nick, real good. Well, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I've gotten so much questionability on whether these antennas can work DX or not. And if you check out my QRZ site, you'll see I've got some YouTube videos and such up there. I've been recording this conversation for a YouTube video, and I appreciate all the good comments you made. And if you look at my YouTube videos, maybe of 3 or 4 days from now, you'll probably see this whole contact up there, and you'll get to see just how you sounded here on my desktop. Go ahead.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I can't wait. This is fantastic. Kilo 8 Nancy Delta Sugar. This is Victor Kilo 2 Denmark X-ray in Sydney, Australia. Fantastic. All I can say is it's amazing. I mean, I'm trying to make a loop myself. I have to admit it wasn't much of a success. So I appreciate it. I appreciate the effort, and I really can't speak highly enough of how well you sound down here. Rick, all the very best, my friend, and good luck with experimenting and good luck with the project. And yeah, I'm sure I'll work here some other day. And looks like 20 meters is too easy. 20 meters might be too easy for your loop. We'll probably try 40 meters one day. Kilo 8 Nancy Delta Sugar. This is Victor Kilo 2 Denmark X-ray. Over here.
Yeah, VK2DX Kate NDS. Very good, Nick. Well, I've already worked several Victor Kilos on 40 meters with these loops, with the same loop that I'm talking on right now. So it's very possible, as long as the 40-meter band is a little quiet. The other night when I was on, it was quite noisy, so I came up here and found out that it's pretty quiet up here this time of the night. So nice to make your acquaintance, Nick, for the first time. Thank you very much for the nice reports, and we have it all recorded, and we're going to splice up a nice YouTube video and put it up on my website. You have a great evening. I believe it's approaching evening there, probably the gray line or something in that area. And it's getting the wee hours of the morning here. It's a little after 1 o'clock a.m. for me. Quite late. Quite a bit later than I usually stay up, Nick. So 73, and thanks again. VK2 Delta X-ray K8NDS.
K8NDS, VK2DX. I wish I could record this here from my end. But who knows, maybe next time I'll you know, and you have, I have your details. I'll send you an email. So maybe we can do something. I was really, I'm sure that you would love to hear yourself on this end, because you have a hard time believing how strong you are. That's all I can say. Take care, my friend. All the best. You have a good morning and good evening from Sydney. KHNDS, VK2DX.
Very good, Nick. Thanks again. 73 and good DX to you. K8NDS clear.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you.
Victor Kilo 4, Hotel, Hotel, Hotel. This is Kilo 8, November, Delta Sierra, K8NDS, Northern Arizona.
Good morning, good evening to you. Nice to hear you there from the United States. I wish you a report on your next order. Just turned my feet a little bit your way to get to your signal. I was excited about this. Sounding good. The engine is 80 Alpha November Delta Yankee. Alpha November Delta Yankee. My footnote is west of Brisbane. West of Brisbane on the east coast of Australia. Kilo 8 November Delta Sierra. This is Victor Kilo 4 Triple H.
Yeah, Victor Kilo 4, Triple H. This is Kilo 8, November Delta Sierra, K8NDS. Okay, Andy, very good. Your signal report is about a 5 and 3, I think you came up a little bit. I'll give you a better report in the next transmission when you turn to your antenna. But you're very Q5, armchair copy. My name is Rich, Radio India Charlie Hotel. Rich is the handle. We're located 100 miles north of the city of Phoenix. 100 miles north of the city of Phoenix and 50 miles south of Flagstaff, Andy. Again, the name is Rich. Victor Kilo 4, a Triple H from K8NDS. VK3 IDX and Victor Kilo 4 Triple H. This is K8NDS returning. Very good, Richard and Andy. 100% copy. Your audio's coming through a little more solid than Andy, but you're both about the same signal strength, about a 5 and 4, 5 and 3 to a 5 and 4. There, Richard. Very good to make your acquaintance here also. I am using one of those magnetic loops. I'm using the, if you're looking at the pictures on QRZ, I'm using the one on the right. When you see the two element loops, the one I'm using is the 80 through 20 meter version. And it's a very small antenna and very close to the ground, Richard. It's only 10 feet above the ground. Richard, back to you.
That's incredible. You even done a comparison there, Richard. I'm just wondering, compared to your run-of-the-mill everyday, let's say a tri-band, or even compared it to a dipole or something, you know, in the same direction. In the same direction. Have you ever done a comparison, Richard, over?
Yes, Richard. As a matter of fact, 2 nights ago, I was working a Victor Kilo 3 here, close to this frequency, and I was talking to him with a 390-foot off-center fed doublet. Conditions were a little bit better, a little bit later in the morning here, or early, yeah, a little later in the morning. And with my 390-foot doublet, I was 2 S units stronger in Victor Kilo 3 land with the 2-element magnetic loop. Go ahead.
Terrific. Yeah, that's really good. I'm sure it was a lot quieter too in the background noise. I'll keep up the good work there, Richard. That's fantastic. It looks very, just looking at those pictures. Thank you for also sharing that with us all. Anyway, it looks like QIZ. Very interesting stuff. Richard, I'll put it back to Andy. By the way, thanks for the report. You're around 5 to 5, 6 most times, so no problem in receiving it. You've got some good gear there on the setting. Looks like the PR781 microphone that you're running, etc. Looks really good with the steel equipment. All right, back to you, Andy. Over. Well, Simon, good to you with your family, and for the rest of tonight at the early morning there in Prestonwood, Arizona. Anyway, November Delta Sierra, this is Victor Kilo 4, Triple H and Company, technically with your bye-bye.
Yeah, VK4 HHH and VK3IDX K8NDS. Very good, gentlemen. Both of you are coming in here very Q5. Not as strong as I was getting into the Down Under the other night, but hopefully it'll pick up. I'm going to work a few more. I'm recording you two on video here. I'm making a video recording of this. If you check my websites, I've got several video recordings on YouTube there on stations that I've talked to on the air. Many people have been asking me how these antennas work on DX, so I'm making some recordings tonight. So maybe in a week or two you might see some recordings on there with the contact from both you, Andy, and Richard. Thank you very much for the real nice contacts. You guys have some good fun here tonight, making some more contacts. And I'm going to look around the band and see if I can work a few more Victor Kilos or ZLs here tonight yet, or this morning. Burning the candle tonight, you guys, and we'll catch you down the log. Thanks a lot for coming back to my call. VK3IDX to take it, and VK4 Triple H, K8NDS listening.
The sun is just about to go down. I'm checking my YouTube camera messages. I would love to see that video for sure. Always nice to listen to yourself, how you sound on the other side of this planet. So I'm certainly looking forward to the video, Richard. Thank you very much for making that information there available to look at. So 73 and good DX there tonight.
Yeah, bye-bye, Andy, and 73, Richard.
Hey, goodbye, Richard. Nice talking to you, mate. I'll look out for that YouTube too. Bye-bye.
73, K8NDS clear.
You'll let me know. November Delta Sugar, UA0 Zulu Sierra, over.
Yeah, UA0 Zulu Sierra, Kilo 8 November Delta Sierra. Very good, Sergi. 100% copy. You're about a 5 and 5. I didn't get my signal report. If you can give me that one more time. I had a little interruption here, and I missed my report. You're about a 5 and 5 here in northern Arizona, about 100 miles north of Phoenix and 50 miles south of the city of Flagstaff. The name is Rich, Radio India Charlie Hotel. Back to you, Sergi, UA0 Zulu Sierra from K8NDS. Yeah, very good. 100% armchair copy, Sergi. No problem. Nice to hear your area coming in. I was working some of the South Pacific a little bit, and I heard you in there and turned the antenna around. And you're doing a fine job. Nice to make your acquaintance for the first time. Back to you.
Okay, thanks for the contact. It was a very pleasure to meet you the first time too, and all the best. 73 and hope to meet you in future. 8 November Delta Sugar, UA0 Zulu Sierra. Bye-bye.
73, Sergi. Thank you very much. UA0 Zulu Sierra, K8NDS. 73.
United Alpha. Juliet Alpha 1 Whiskey Uniform Delta. Juliet Alpha 1 Whiskey Uniform Delta. I think I blew off your frequency. So glad to meet you first time. I think my name is Toshi Tango Oscar Sierra Hotel India. Tango Oscar Sierra Hotel India. Toshi is my name. Located in Yokohama. Yankee Oscar Kilo Oscar Hotel Alpha Mike Alpha. Yokohama, which is 20 miles off 30 kilometers southwest. My correct code sign is Juliet Alpha 1. Juliet Alpha 1 Whiskey Uniform Delta. Well, weather has been very good weather, and a little warm, maybe somewhere 25 degrees C. No, local time, I'm not quite sure, maybe somewhere about 5:30, 700 setting on the local time. You're coming in a very strong 5-9 here, 5-9. But my beam is the wrong direction. I'm just heading to Guam right now. Guam in Pacific. Once again, my name is Toshi, and I'm located in Yokohama. We're coming in 5-9 very strong. In the wrong direction. I'm heading to Guam right now. K8 November Delta Sierra. Arizona, this is Juliet Alpha 1 Whiskey Uniform Delta. Yeah, Yokohama, Japan, back to you, over.
Yeah, Juliet Alpha 1 Whiskey Uniform Delta. This is K8NDS return. But a relatively good signal from Yokohama. I understand your beam's in the wrong direction. Thank you for that nice report. 5 by 8 there, I think you said I was. And I thought I had my beam pointed farther south, but I see I changed it a while ago, and I do have my beam pointed at you right now. Actually, it's not really a beam. It's a helically loaded magnetic loop antenna, but it is directional on a rotator. It's a 2-element helically loaded magnetic loop. And my magnetic loops are only 10 feet above the ground. That's 3 meters above the ground is all my antennas are, running 1 kilowatt. Back to you, Juliet Alpha 1 W Uniform Delta K8NDS.
K8NDS, this is K81WUZ, Juliet Alpha 1 United Delta, just heading to Guam in Pacific. And I want to elevation only 3 meter 9 feet. That's very good. Right, 3 meters is very easy to instrument. So on. If put on the high
Yeah, JA1WUD, K8NDS. Very good, Toshi. I got your handle right now. Sorry about that on the first transmission. I was trying to get you tuned in a little better and I missed it the first time. But we have it now as Toshi. For some reason, my log's not populating with your call, and I don't know why. Otherwise, I would have had that information correct. Real good on your holiday and your rainy conditions. It was very warm here today. About normal weather for the high desert country here, Toshi. Our temperature today was about 34 degrees centigrade. About 34 degrees, which is about 87 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's pretty normal weather for this time of the year. In another 2 or 3 weeks, we'll have the monsoon season starting here. The monsoons will start, and then we'll be getting our rain and some humidity. Well, your 6-element beam's doing a good job. I don't think conditions are too great tonight. I was working some Victor Kilo stations, and they weren't as strong as they were the other night, but there are some propagation tonight. Getting to be very late here, 1:37 in the morning. I normally don't stay up this late, Toshi. Very unusual for me. The XYL is out of town for a few days, and I've been burning the candle with the radio, HI. And your English is quite good. I work an awful lot of JA and JH stations on 17 meters, and you're doing much better than most, so I appreciate your effort. You're doing a good job. So don't worry about your English. Keep practicing here. That's the way to do it. In my retirement, I'm trying to learn a few different languages. I'm practicing heavily on my Espanol right now, and plan on doing some traveling to some of those areas, so I'm trying to learn that. And I thought it would be very interesting to learn some Japanese, but I think it's very difficult for me. I've studied a little bit and picked up a few words, but that'll be down the line. That's something I want to do in my retirement with a lot of time, is to learn a few different languages. So thank you very much for the nice contact and your efforts in speaking English. Again, very well appreciated, and I think you're doing a good job. 73s, and thank you again. Domo arigato from northern Arizona. JA1, Whiskey Uniform Delta, K8NDS.
All right, that's very good. Aye. And better than nothing, you do speak a very good accent. It's very easy to understand. And also, me too, I try to start in Spanish words. South American lady tried to speak, teach me how to speak in Spanish. Maybe we start very, very soon. Thank you very much. And I heard that the donor many times that I've never been there. Thank you very much. And 73. This is JA1WUD.
73, Toshi. 73, and thank you again. JA1WUD, K8NDS. Sayonara.
Right, and same to you too. Bye for now.
Well, that wraps up the video demonstration of a few DX clips here. Hope you enjoyed the video and have a better feel for how these antennas work on DX. They're not a step IR, but they're very inexpensive. They suit the purposes for homeowners associations and CC&Rs, and it should allow any radio amateur to get on the air and enjoy the hobby with a fairly decent signal. We'll see you later with more of my YouTube videos. Thanks a lot for watching.